Hello, hello, beautiful people, and thank you so much for joining in to today's Movement Medicine Morsel. So, if you've been tuning in this week, we've looked at some of the planes of movement, which is kind of maybe a bit on the dry side in terms of moving front, back, side to side, and twisting, but very helpful to start to analyze and look at patterns in the body. So, I thought today it would be very nice to just move, to go beyond any little formulas and just move. So we'll begin seated just to set the foundation because it's always nice to empty out anything excessive and come to a nice, open, receptive place. So let's feel our feet on the ground. Let's feel our sit bones in the seat. Take a moment to sense them, and it's perfect, whatever it is, just noticing. And then rising up through the crown of the head to have a proud, beautiful posture that's connected to the heavens above as well as the earth below. And let's start to loosen up by inhaling the shoulders up and then back to open the chest, and then circling them down and forward to open up the upper back. So inhale up and back, and exhale down and forward. You can let the rest of your spine ripple with this. We're not holding anything back. We're choosing places in the body to initiate from, but that doesn't mean that other places don't want to come along. And now for fun, let's inhale one shoulder up and back, exhale it down and around, then the other shoulder up and back, and exhale down and around. This might start taking you into a little twist, and enjoy it if it does. Let one shoulder have its full circle, and then the other shoulder gets its full circle. Let's do one more and let that come to a natural finish. And long neck and turning the head gently from side to side, just looking without staring. We're wanting freedom. So, whatever amount gives you freedom, don't push anything. And then a little head and neck roll. You can even take your fingers to press up gently at the base of the skull so the rolling happens up above. You may have heard me talk in the past about one of those dog cones that a dog might wear around the head to keep from scratching the nether regions. So that image just helps us, not the nether regions, but the rolling around in a higher shape. And then let that go. And I think it's time to stand up. So you can do as little of this or as much of this as you like and find a nice shape of movement or range of movement that's comfy for you. Planting the feet, rising through the top of the head. We're just going to shake it out. We want our bodies to have a free imagination. So shaking can release things. Stand on one leg and shake out the other foot. You can even leave the toes on the floor and shake, shake, shake. And then, of course, we're going to do that on the other side, shifting the weight, shaking the whole leg, or leaving the toes on the floor and shaking that leg with just a little bit more stability. Oh, give yourself some sound. Shake through those hands. Take the hands up. Lift and drop your heels. Whew. Let that settle down in its own sweet timing. And then with that string or cord at the top of the head, some easy twisting, a few with the feet in place, and then some with the full spiral of the hips, lifting that back heel, tossing your hands gently around. You might get a little love thump in front and in back where the hands land. We're keeping it nice and loose. And once again, we're allowing this to come to its own natural finish. Okay, into the hips, stepping with the feet about hip distance apart. We just shift, just sending the hips over to one side and then to the other. You might want to inhale when you come up and exhale to the side. If you feel like you want to move not that slow, you could inhale to one side and exhale to the other. And you can even forget about matching breath with the movements and simply give your body permission. Just keep breathing and let the movements find their own way. Okay. Now we're going to lift one heel and we're going to circle on the ball of the foot and we're going to let that hip. So think of the leg starting from half the hip. It has its own half of the pelvis, a thigh, a lower leg, a foot, and ankle. And we're just stirring the pot with that one side. Let's go the other way. The upper body just follows, but the main movement is through the foot. It's almost like you're pumping with the foot, and your hip is moving with the foot. And let's let that come to a natural finish. Just walk a little bit, see how that feels. Swing your arms a little bit, change directions. See if you feel anything different in that one hip. Maybe yes, maybe not. Whatever it is perfect. And then we find our placement and we lift the other heel. So we've shifted our weight and we start to circle. So you're circling around the ball of the foot and the knee is moving and that hip just wants to come along. Remember, the leg starts at the half the hip and we're circling. We're making this very pleasant and then circle the other way. Also nice for the ankle. Circling. And now we've gone both directions. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to straighten one leg and bend the knee and then shift. So you'll notice one hip goes up, the other hip goes down, bend one knee, straighten the other, just let the hips go. And there's a little bit of a curve. The hip that comes up, the hip that's up, that's this hip, the hip that's up, its armpit drops down. And then when the other hip comes up, that armpit drops down. So there's a little bit of a side bend. And if that's not coming with ease to you, just do it like you want to do it. So the hips are pumping up and down. And now let's practice a little bit of pivoting. So you can't pivot when the foot is flat. You're stuck and something's going to give. A knee could pop. We don't want that. But if you pivot on either the ball or the heel of the foot, no problem. So let's lift the heels a little bit, bend the knees, and we're going to do the twist. You don't have to lift the heels very much. You just have to take some weight off them. And it feels quite nice to let the arms move in opposition. I'll face your direction in case you're like me and find it easier to copy from the back. And you're rising tall up above. Now, just for fun, let's put the weight on the heels and lighten the balls of the feet. And you get a twist, but slightly different feeling to it. Let the shoulders relax, stay nice and tall through the neck and the throat. Okay, shake that out. Maybe your heartbeat has come up a little bit. And now we'll keep the feet on the floor, but we have done some movements where we lift a heel, we lift the ball of the foot. I want you to feel that when you move your hips from side to side, you're allowing the feet to freely move. I tend to pivot more on the balls of the feet, just lifting the heels a little bit more. Okay, so now we've got a twist where this hip is out front. We're going to take it in a circle, take a loop around the back. You can change your feet a bit, and then the other hip makes a loop. In fact, let's use the index finger and point. Point with the finger and make that circle, and the hip follows. You're telling the hip where to go, or maybe the hip is telling the finger where to go. And start to find a flow here. Maybe your circles are quite small and they're a little more lifted up, a little bit more sophisticated, say, or you want to get down. You want to get down. And pointing, you can even let the eyes follow. Now let's go sneak and go the other way. So the hips are twisted. You've got this hip in front. Go back in the back hip and come around. Go back in the other hip and come around. This time the back of the hand is coming around too. The hip and the hand, and you're making a figure eight in the other direction. And the feet are moving. And maybe this turns into something quite different for you, and that's perfect too. Breathing. And now let's get the arms into it. So chest, armpit, elbow, wrist, and fingers. Chest, armpit, elbow, wrist, and fingers. Just a little bit of swaying first. The chest now, we were working with the hips earlier. Now it's the chest that's leading. And of course, you notice that the hips and legs are following. Start to let the arm extend a little further. So you're reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. And now up and down. The arms are snaky. Shoulder goes up. Just tracing pictures. Take one foot on the ball and step behind and lower down a little bit as you continue to make these beautiful arms. And then come all the way back up. Take a breath, step over. And again, you might just want to demurely lower. You want to protect the knees, or you may want to go down low. But whatever we're doing, we're lifting up on top so nothing ever crushes. And then the feet are open and the hips come around to the front. Open the arms. Circle the hips to the side and back and fold and gather from the earth. Inhale, offer to the sky. Exhale, offer to the earth. Inhale, celebrate. Exhale, release. Let's go the other way. Circling the hips. When they come in front, you open your chest and heart and throat. Exhale, you're collecting. Knees can be a little bit bent or they can be straight-ish here. And let's do one more of these. Opening up and stepping the feet comfortably close. And we're going to come to a little finish. Bending the knees, curving the hands. Exhaling here on the inhale, reach up. Big breath in. Exhale, reach out with the fingertips. Stay tall and soften. You can even curve your spine. From the feet, lengthening, inhaling energy through the legs, up through the body. Exhale. And one more time, inhaling. This time the palms find each other. And exhale, draw the energy down through the center of the channel of the body. You're relaxed, you're connected to sky and earth, you're smiling and breathing. You might have your thumbs against your breastbone, whatever part of your hand might be touching your breastbone. Invite breath here. Let the lungs fully expand and relax in turn. And then gently slide the fingertips down, pointing to the earth, and folding the hands, linking the web between the thumb and index finger of each hand. And now feel your breath. Invite your breath into your belly, where your hands are placed. Feel the belly swell as you inhale. Feel the hands follow the belly back in as you exhale, all very relaxed. Smile, breathe, notice how you feel. In particular, notice if you feel any different than before you started. Notice your body, notice any sensations, thoughts, or images, welcome them in. And just notice how you feel. And know that you can move your body, breathe, shake anytime, even for a minute or two, different little breaks during the day to refresh your energy and reset yourself. And I thank you for coming to today's practice. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel pretty nice. And many blessings to you. There'll be the next session will be on Monday, but you can certainly watch on my YouTube channel, or you can leaf through the Facebook Lives and just find one that you like. Many blessings. And I love to hear from you if you want to write or have a request. I always love finding out what you think and feel. Bye for now.